His name is Michael Myers, and he's been terrorizing movie audiences for over a decade. This week, on The Making of, you'll meet Michael Myers and the people who have been responsible for creating one of the most successful horror film series in history, as we go behind the scenes for the making of Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Mustafa Akkad, the executive producer of Halloween 5, has been involved with the Halloween films ever since director John Carpenter and his associates approached him to finance the first picture.
I was a little bit not so interested when they told me it's a story about a babysitter to be killed. That clicked something to me because every kid in America was a babysitter or babysat for. I thought this is a subject they could relate to. I thought they are really kind of sincere and they want to really come up with the budget, with the film. And they came on time and budget. And to me, when I saw the first cut, rough cut, I thought it's a winner.
And it proved to be a winner at the box office as well, as the first 4 Halloween films have grossed over $200 million. In Halloween 5, the story of Michael Myers and his murderous ways are given a new slant through his relationship with his niece.
The powers of Michael is somehow transferred to his niece. And Michael Myers has a vehicle that his niece possesses through his psychic powers, and she acts in some forms that really makes not just Michael as an evil, but he has powers to convey the evil part of it, which we didn't have in any of the previous ones.
Returning once again for his 4th appearance in the Halloween series is Donald Pleasence, who, as Dr. Loomis, is still trying to bring his most famous patient to justice. For Pleasence, watching Michael Myers die in one picture and then resurface in another isn't all that surprising.
It's about chasing Michael Myers. That's what all the films are about. We kill him off, and we empty hundreds of rounds of semi-automatic ammunition in his body. We throw him down a disused mine shaft, toss a few hand grenades on top, bury him in concrete, and he always comes back.
Trying to help Dr. Loomis in the capture of Myers is Sheriff Ben Meeker, played by Beau Starr.
Well, he's supposed to be the guy who protects the town. He's who everybody comes to save the town. You know, he's a John Wayne type of guy, you know, who supposedly is going to help everybody.
But there's only so much the law can do, and Myers is soon running loose once again from the very spot where he was left to die at the end of Halloween 4. To film this integral part of the scene, the cast and crew found themselves by a riverbank in Salt Lake City, Utah, where most of the picture was shot. To direct this latest installment, the producers elected to go with a foreign director for the film, a first for the series.
Personally, I believe that you need an American director and a young director to be able to communicate with the kids. Today's kids, they have certain language, certain mannerism that I myself do not understand with my own kids. So I always wanted American directors but then I met this director, Dominique Girard. I saw some of his films. He has a certain way of really portraying the suspense, of putting the audience in the camera and really involving the audience with a technique that is as Hitchcock as it can be. So I thought I'm going to go against my belief this time, and I went with him.
Swiss director Dominique Othinian Girard began to earn a respectable reputation series.
I was very glad that Mustafa Akkad selected me as a director for Halloween 5. It is an Americana picture. It is a picture about suspense, about horror, and it is done by a foreigner. And I think that's the basic difference with Halloween 5 to the other Halloweens. It has the same formula, especially of the formula of Halloween 1. I think we've been able to pull out of the number 1, the John Carpenter's Halloween, the essence of and the formula of what his suspense was about. A small community and a pressure of the shape, Michael Myers, upon a few characters who live in that community.
For Girard, creating the opening scene of Halloween 5 was one of his greatest challenges. and one that would take 2 nights to shoot. The film opens with Myers escaping through a mine shaft and into water before the police blow the shaft up. On the first night, Gerard decided to concentrate on capturing Myers' escape into the water and his float downstream. Portraying Michael Myers is actor and stuntman Donald Shanks, who prepared himself for this scene by slipping into a wetsuit before stepping into the icy water. And while Shanks prepares for his adventure in the river, Gerard is busy making sure he has the scene covered from the best possible angles. When Shanks finally arrives on the set, complete with the Michael Myers mask, makeup sets about adding the finishing touches to his menacing character. Then Shanks meets with his director for last-minute instructions. Finally, it's time for Shanks to submerge himself in the water and try to hit his mark as he floats his way downstream. While the shot is repeated several times later that night, other crew members have already begun preparing for the next day's shoot. Creating the mine shaft explosion is special effects expert Greg Landrerer.
Okay, in this upcoming scene, what we're doing is we're simulating a mine shaft explosion. We're using 16-ounce black powder bombs. We'll insert these into the side of the mountain. From there, we're going to put approximately 2.5 gallons of gasoline over the top of that. We'll wire it all in together, and when Don Shanks, our actor, reaches his mark, we'll hit the button, and we'll have a pretty nice explosion.
But before the explosion can take place, Gerard and his team are back out on location planning how and where the explosion will occur that night. Gerard has to be sure that actor Don Shanks has enough time to crawl away from the explosives before they go off. Then that night, Shanks is back out in the Myers costume. Explosives are set, and cameras are locked off for one of the most dangerous